Good evening then. Welcome back to East Midlands Airport. Thank you very much for joining my flight action this evening. It's good to be back. Just had a few last minute settings. Lower down this evening, perched underneath the umbrella. A little bit windy out, so that's securely tied down. That means you just have to go a little bit lower. Let's get the microphone turned up. Hopefully that's a little bit better. There we go. Sounds alright this side, so hopefully it's coming across well your side too. But thank you very much for joining us again this evening from the Aeropark. First arrival in this evening then, the Aerologic 777 in from Delhi. Registration Delta Alpha Alpha Lima Victor. This one is delayed on the inbound this evening, departing almost 9 hours ago. Now I'm passing through 800 feet now overhead Kegworth, so we will pan around in the direction of 27, operational runway for this evening. There you go, a bit more fence in the way this evening unfortunately, but that one is indeed on final. And depending on how warm it gets in the next couple of hours, will determine how long we stream for this evening. Currently it's not too bad. Hopefully it stays that way. So we are perched a little further down this evening. Now that 777 is over the M1 now, passing over the runway threshold. We'll see how far this one makes its way down towards us this evening. Now you'll have to forgive me, as this is a very new angle, as it were. There we go, that 777 making its way in past us now. Making use of all the runway then this evening. The Aerologic 777 inbound from Delhi, flight time just shy of 9 hours. Vacating off runway 27 now then. We'll watch this one in onto its stand. Particular aircraft delivered in November 2023. It's about 18 months old. Making its way into Delhi from Hong Kong. And from Delhi on in towards East Midlands. Extremely bright with us again this evening. Not as many not as many delays as last Thursday. So that early afternoon traffic has now departed. Just a few aircraft left on stand. The Lauda A320 has made it on time though. That is on stand at the minute to arrive in as we were setting up this evening. Try and get a little bit more light in if we can, brighten that midge up. And that one is vacating the taxiway now onto the apron. Should take its usual stand in the distance. Now it's making its way onto the stand. Let's have a look at some of the departures for this evening's stream. The Lauda A320 just in the distance to the left of us. That one with an estimated departure time of 5:30. So no movement on that one just yet. Woodgate Aviation Beach King, Super King, that one off to Belfast, slightly delayed on the outbound this evening. At 6:10, that one is making its way out. Ryanair service to Berlin, that one delayed by about 35 minutes, 25 to 7. That one is scheduled to depart East Midlands. Let's get a little bit closer up on that 777 if we can. There we go. So we are battered by the heat haze again this evening, unfortunately. Persevere with it as best we can. We'll try and bring a little bit more focus in. Should be a bit better. Chewy service to Heraklion, departing in about an hour's time. PC12 making its way down to Woking at 10 to 7 this evening. 777 making its way back out to Leipzig. That's the airframe in front of us. That one's scheduled to depart at 5 to 7 this evening. 747, 1S747 off to Zhengzhou. That one is estimated to depart at about 7:10 this evening, and Ryanair service to Barcelona at about 7:30. Maersk service to Cologne. That one never does materialise, so we'll skip that one. But the 777 out to Cincinnati, estimated departure time on that one at about 10 to 9 this evening. Sorry. And not a very busy evening after that. Let's check on the arrivals though. There are a few delays on the inbounds this evening. Service in from JFK, that one was estimated to be with us just before 5:20 this evening. Scheduled to arrive about 10 to 7 now. Still a fair way out. Ryanair service to Rome, that one is delayed until just after 6 p.m. And 777 in from Cincinnati, that one is also delayed until about 6:10. PC12 in from Waterford at about 6:20 this evening, and the West Atlantic ATR making its way in from Liverpool, that one with a scheduled arrival time of 6:30. 777 in from Leipzig then, already making its way over to us. That one should be in just after 7 p.m, and the RVL service in from the Isle of Man just after 7 p.m. as well. The Ryanair service to Limoges is operational this week. That one arriving at about 7:05, and a Maersk service in from Cologne. That one is showing up at 7:20. Not sure if we see that one or not this evening though. 767 in from Philadelphia. That one is early. 7:45, that one is scheduled to arrive with us, and the DHL 757 making its way in from Reykjavik at about 8:25. That one should be closely followed by the West Atlantic service in from Aberdeen. That's the 737-400. Shortly after the Maersk in from Belfast at 9 this evening. So still a great deal of aircraft to make their way in and out of East Midlands this evening, so thank you very much for being with us. And it's a bit of a heat wave over the next few days, so thank you very much for taking time out of the sun to come and join us this evening. Making its way in just over central London now though. Ryanair service in from Rome. If we pan around, we'll try and catch this one as best we can. There we go. Cessna 152. That one making its way out. Bit smoother than it was last Thursday. Just a very gentle breeze blowing directly at us this evening, so very favourable conditions indeed. There you go, that one is off into the sun in front of it. Let's have a pan round onto the main apron now, have a look at what's over there, the Lauda A320. Just in a distance there. Let's take some of the lights out if we can. There we go, a little bit better. But there it is on stand, the Lauda A320, that one making its way back out, and hopefully the not too distant future. Back off to Palma this evening. Good evening to everybody in the chat as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Good to see you all. Excuse my stomach. Yeah, plenty of water, Emma, for this evening. It's going to be extremely hot, I think, for the next few hours. We're under the shade, so it's quite nice and comfortable for the time being. See how this evening pans out then with those delays. So Lauda is usually on time. So look at its movements a little earlier. Its inbound was delayed by about 10 minutes this evening, so maybe just a little delay to the outbound. Yeah, surprising how quickly the sun does catch you when you're out here. See that focused on everything else in front of you. I really realise, you know, well tanned to say the least. Let's have a look around then while the Lauda is still waiting to push back this evening. DHL 767 on a rear stand then, we'll get there in a minute. There we go. Now that one parked on the remote this evening. And then just a little further around on the apron, 2 767s there as well. Not joined by the 757 yet this evening, that one making its way down a little later on from Reykjavik. Should be with us about 8:30 this evening. And the Logic 777 on its own on the one of the very end stands there. That cargo just about to starting to be unloaded. The Ryanair service making its way in from Rome this evening and making its way down through 20,000 feet now. 320 knots is its speed. Registration Echo India, Echo Kilo Whiskey. That one is 737-800, 15 years of age. Delivered in March 2010. So just over 15 years. That one making its way just south of Milton Keynes then. About 15 minutes out on that one. That one's going to make its way up towards Northampton, the south of Leicester, and then on towards Loughborough, making a left-hand turn. Onto final for runway 27. little further out than this evening. Let's pan around back onto the main passenger apron. There you go, Chewy and Jet 2 on stand there, and of course a louder in the distance. So you may just have been able, before you focus on the louder, see the 747 just about in the distance to the blue and yellow of the vertical stabiliser, just peeking through the fence. That one is due out about 7:10 this evening. Well, for the time being, the louder A320 doesn't look like any ancillary equipment is around the aircraft at the minute. No rear stairs anyway, so hopefully that one will be making its way out any time soon. Picking up with an estimated time now, so we'll keep an eye on that one for the time being. So look, in the distance then at the Aerologic 777 on that very end stand. So not long on the ground for that one this evening. About an hour or so, the schedule is saying expected to depart out of East Midlands at about 5 to 7 this evening. (152) making touch and go. It is there somewhere. There we go. Perfect time to get a few circuits in. See that lull in traffic. Straight in and back out this evening. There you go, climbing away there. Triple seven then, as we were saying, that one estimated to depart back out at about 5 to 7 this evening, so just an hour or so on the ground. So look on the map then a little further out. It's showing about 30-minute delay on the arrivals this evening. Next in, the 777 making its way from Cincinnati this evening. DHL 777 passing down through 17,700 feet now. Golf Delta Hotel Mike Delta is the registration on that one. 405 knots is its current speed. About 15 minutes out. That one is making its way down towards Crewe now, onto Stoke-on-Trent, north of Derby, and then down towards the south of Nottingham, making that right-hand turn onto final for Runway 27 this evening. Just a small helicopter making its way over the top of the airfield. I'm not sure if we'll be able to pick that one up or not. Let's have a look. step across. Oh, there's no traffic in the area. There you go, out of our view there. But if you did miss last Thursday's stream, definitely go and have a look back at that one, the King's Flight passing over East Midlands. That one was in the early afternoon, maybe about 3 PM. So look at the timestamp on the bottom of the screen on last Thursday's stream. We're currently working on the overlay for the stream, so that's why that one is missing this evening. If you look back on Thursday's stream, the King's Flight making its way down from the north, overhead East Midlands, managing to catch that one for quite a way past the airfield. So look back around then, the Lauda A320 pinging up on the radar now. Oh, it is indeed pushing back. Registration on the Lauda then, 9 Hotel Lima Oscar Quebec A320-200 series. This one 18 years of age, entering into service in April 2007. Looks like a Learjet just behind the A320 there. Well then, in the next few minutes, that one will be making its way down to the start of runway 27 and making its takeoff roll, rotating just a little distance away from where we are. Making our way now, the Ryanair service in from Rome. That one is about 5 minutes away now. Just going up to the south of Leicester. Now 777 is about 10 minutes out now. That one making its way down through 11,000 feet. Sam, good evening to you, Richard as well, and Sue. Yvonne, good to see you again. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for renewing that membership. Member for 4 months now. Good to see you again this evening. I hope you're keeping well. Adrian and Daz, good evening to both of you as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Stocked up on plenty of water this evening, and we got the shade on us as well for a change. Sitting a little further down, the luxury of a chair this evening, so have a little go at camera work from about half the usual height we do it this evening. Fingers crossed it all goes alright. Well, thanks for joining us anyway. It's good to see you all in the chat. Thank you to everybody watching as well. Good to have you with us on the very warm day. Going to get even hotter, especially where we are tomorrow. A320 just at the back of the stand then. That one now preparing to start up. 152 again, doing a touch and go from runway 27. Let's have a look at the Jet 2. That one is making its way off of the stand as well this evening. Climbing a little bit higher this evening in the 152. We'll stick with the Jet 2 though in front of us. That one off to Mahon this evening. Registration Golf Delta Romeo Tango Charlie. That one is 737-800, 19 years of age. That one entering into service in 2006. Should be coming to a stop in just a few seconds, so we'll get detached, and then that will too make its way. It should make its way a little bit further down the taxiway, unless it starts up there, taxis out. It may well do. So a little bit less traffic this week. Last week, majority of those aircraft were being pushed to the back of the apron and waiting some new slots having elapsed due to the airstrikes last week. Excuse my stomach, all sorts of noises. There we go, that one is preparing to make its way out of East Midlands this evening. If we look on the radar, the next inbound just about to turn on to final for runway 27. That Ryanair service in from Rome. And the Cincinnati 777, that one too is about 5 minutes or so away, just north of Derby now. British Airways A380 passing directly overhead there. That one on its way to Washington this evening. We'll try and pick up with the Emirates A380. That one should be making its way into Manchester in just a little while. So I've been quite fortunate the past couple of weeks to catch that just as the sun was setting. So we'll try again for the same this evening. The cloud not too bad this evening. A lot of blue sky right above us, so it should hopefully be quite an easy spot. That one is delayed ever so slightly though. Arrival time into Manchester at 7:15, delayed until 8:45 this evening. So it may very well be one of the last aircraft we spot on this evening's stream, but it's making its way over towards us, so we shall try our best and catch that one. On final now though is that service in from Rome, passing down through 2,000 feet at 189 knots. Registration for one last time on this one, Echo India Echo Kilo Whiskey. This one 15 years of age. Entering service in 2010. Stick with the Jet 2 for just a minute though. No movement on the louder just yet. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. Hope to see you on the next one. Put details of next week's streams as well as soon as we can. So look on the louder then, just before the Ryanair touches down. No movement just yet, but the Jet 2 is on the move. So we should be out again next Tuesday and Thursday for our normal streaming slots. And of course into the weekend is the airport's 60th anniversary weekend. Got events on Saturday, Sunday and Monday as well. Sunday being expected to be the busiest day of the weekend. Of course the Red Arrows making their way past East Midlands, fly past in celebration of the airport's 60th anniversary. So we'll be here on the Sunday as well, if nobody can make it down. It is expected to be an extremely busy weekend though, so Just keep that in mind. If you have a look on social media, I think for the airport's social media pages, they do have some details of additional facilities that are being put into place for the weekend. That being said, an additional car park just to the left of where we are this evening, just behind the aeropark. That will be opening up for everybody that wants to make their way into the aeropark. If you want more details on the aeropark itself, have a look at the stream description below. There is a link to their website there. We'll stay in this position for the time being. That Ryanair is just about to come into view. There we go. Flight time this evening then, 2 hours and 24 minutes. Safely vacating off of 27 there. It should make a left-hand turn, making its way back down towards the apron. Jet 2 service off Team on, making its way down to the start of runway 27. So look at where the 777 is. That one is just making its final turn onto the approach for runway 27. We'll see if either that makes it in first or the Jet 2 makes it out. Still no movement on the A320 then, as the 737 taxis past there. Looks like the Jet 2 is making its way onto runway 27 just a little earlier, making its way out ahead of the inbound 777 at 152. Fortunately, orbiting just northeast of the airfield. That one will be there for a little while longer, giving way to the 777, holding until that wake turbulence clears as well. Jet 2 making its way down towards us now then. You can hear those engines roaring up just in the distance. Extremely bright in the distance this evening. We've got some shelter above us, so it would have turned very red by now. There we go, departing out. Let's try and lose a little bit of that light if we can. There we go, a tiny bit better, making its left hand turn down towards the south now. That one passing through 1,500 feet. Get a little bit closer as it starts to roll out of that turn. 171 knots is the speed on this one. There we go, 2,400 feet. That one leaving East Midlands airspace, then passing off to a London control. Get back onto runway 27, and that 777 just about to make its way over the threshold. Lauda still firmly on stand there. The Ryanair just on the stand in front. We'll have a look at that one after the 777 lands in. Those reverse thrusters being deployed there in the distance. Just a few seconds then, and we'll see this one in front of us. Hopefully this one will make most use of the runway as well this evening. Definitely looks so. A lot of speed left on that one. Flight time then of 6 hours and 36 minutes. Registration on that one again. Golf Delta Hotel Mike Delta. In from Cincinnati this evening. 15 years of age on this airframe. A little bit of a cooling breeze coming from those engines. Cool enough by the time he gets over to us anyway. You should be making a right-hand turn onto the apron. There we go. Very shiny as that one makes its way down on the apron. Then stay with this one just for a few minutes until it makes its way onto its stand. Heat really is intense above us this evening. Good job, everything is well covered. Being far too hot. Making its way onto its stand then. Service in from Cincinnati. Just trying to get a little bit more light in there if we can. See the marshal just in front there. Brakes applied, and that one is firmly at a stop, and it's done this evening. Those engines shutting down now. Aerologic 777 making its way over from Leipzig. About 45 minutes out now. That one just south of Rotterdam. 36,000 feet is its current altitude, 472 knots is its speed. Registration Delta Alpha Alpha Lima Foxtrot. That one is 15 years old as well. Still no movement on the Lauda. Saying that, does actually look like it is making its way off of this stand. So look to the left then. There we go, finally making its way out. Lauda service back off to Parma this evening. A lot of wasps around. There we go, safely onto the taxiway, and that 152 as well. Coming in for a full stop landing there. Taxiing off, back down towards the maintenance area where the flying school is here at East Midlands. Spent quite a lot of that time orbiting. There we go, the 320 making its way down to the start of runway 27 now. That will be the next departure from East Midlands this evening. So while that one disappears out of view, we're just about an hour away from the 747 departing as well. 777 in front of us there, arriving in from Cincinnati. And a quick check underneath the cowling there of the engine. Presumably having a look at all the oil levels in there. Right, hopefully that umbrella stays put. A slight breeze picking up now, so hoping it stays anyway. The Lauda just a short way from making its way onto the start of runway 27 and this evening. That will be the next departure. Registration on that one again, 9 Hotel Lima Oscar Quebec. A320-200 series. Look in the distance at that service arriving in from Rome then. So Ryanair service in the distance. Everybody has disembarked now. That's fueling truck in place. Getting that aircraft ready for its next outbound. Looks like that one is making its way out to Berlin this evening. Slightly delayed. Estimated departure time is 6:35. Just 20 minutes away, so whether that will make it on time or not, we shall see. But it's on the ground, ready for everybody to start boarding. You can just about see everybody there, all the passengers, just between the Texaco fueling truck and the stairs, the Swissport liveried stairs. It's a bit warm on there, so glad to be standing outside for just a few minutes. Let's have a look in distance then to the start of runway 27. That Lauda A320 lining up on the centre line now. hopefully making its way down towards us. Seem to have much success, this one, of doing things on time. So it's hopefully making its way towards us. Let's have a quick look at the 777 then, just in the distance for a minute. That one prepares to depart East Midlands this evening. There we go. Sounds like it's finally making its way towards us. So I'll pan back around then. Catch this one departing out to Palmer this evening. Early rotation there, just behind the tree line. There we go, that one's safely departing out of East Midlands now, making its way out of runway 27. Initiating that left hand turn down towards the south. Just drop that light ever so slightly, get that one a bit more in focus. 1,700 feet for the A320 now then. Coming out of that left-hand turn, continuing its climb, 2,200 feet. Speaking to the tower now, that one handing off to a London control, making its way out of East Midlands airspace. Looks like that one levelling off ever so slightly there. There you go, safely away into the distance. So look on the ground then, the 777 in from Delhi earlier. There it is. That one in the process, or still in the process of being worked on. These spiders off me. That one with an estimated departure time of 5 to 7 this evening. So in the next 35 minutes or so, that one is scheduled to depart out. We'll see if that one indeed makes its time this evening before its counterpart makes its way in. That one is just off the coast of the Netherlands now. 36,000 feet still. 35 minutes is its current estimated endurance over to East Midlands. So maybe arriving in just as this one is starting to make its way out again. We shall keep an eye on that one and see. In the distance though, let's have a look background at that Ryanair service to Berlin. There you go, try and drop a bit of that light out again if we can. Yeah, everybody starting to make their way on board this evening. And the Chewy service just to the right, at the very end of the apron there. That one is out to Heraklion this evening at 20 to 7. So in the next 20 minutes we should also see that one departing out in front of us. For the time being, no hedgehogs on this week's stream, which is a bonus. Hopefully that one made its way back into the woods alright. Thank you very much for being with us again this evening from East Midlands. It's good to have you with us. Everybody watching and in the chat as well, thank you very much for joining us. Unfortunately, couldn't make it out on Tuesday. We're out again this evening. Should be back out again on Tuesday and Thursday next week. And as we were saying just a little bit earlier, the airport's celebration weekend running over Saturday, Sunday and Monday. Sunday will be the showpiece, as it were, with the red arrows making a fly past over the airfield. Current wind direction is indicating operations on 27, but we'll see whereabouts we are next week in terms of weather. Should be quite a decent week. Streaming next week, especially over the weekend as well. Scheduled to be quite hot again, but extremely busy over the weekend. A lot of people, a few thousand people, anticipated to be making their way down to the airport to have a look at all the celebrations going on next week, or weekend should I say. The aeropark is open as usual Thursday, Saturday and Sunday to the general public. There'll be quite a lot of different things happening in the aeropark as well. A lot of different food vendors next weekend, keeping everybody fed and watered. And of course we'll be here as well, catching all of the action live, so if you're not able to make it down, tune in on the stream next Sunday. It's a estimated time for the flyover, and adjust the stream accordingly, but should be quite a busy day. Not been out on the weekend for quite some time now, so it'll be interesting to have a look at some of the weekend traffic in and out of East Midlands as well. But it will just be a fly past on Sunday. No display, unfortunately. I think, some of the earlier publications from the airport may have hinted at that, but definitely just a fly past, so do keep that in mind. But there will be some alterations to the entrances into the aeropark next week as well. The usual car park, I believe, is reserved for blue badge holders only next week. There is another field open up just off Deesworth Road at the very end where the crash gate is. I think East Midlands Airport did put a post out this week just advising of the same, so if you've not seen it, go and have a look at that, and that should give you a bit more information than I'm able to at the minute, a bit more official information as well coming from the airport. It should be quite a good day, and hopefully another warm day as long as the weather stays alright. Looks like the forecast is going to be quite good, so I think it depends on which forecast you look at. But on the whole, I think it's going to be quite a nice sunny day, so hopefully good for catching the arrows as they make their way over the airfield. There you go then, the rear stairs removed from the 737 there, off to Berlin this evening. Should hopefully see the Chewy service off to Heraklion, making its way out anytime soon as well. That one is just to the right there. There we go, opposite end of the apron. Scheduled departure time. Departure time 20 to 7 this evening. So in the next 10 or 15 minutes, that one should hopefully be making its way out as well. Pilatus making its way in from Waterford now. That one passing down through 9,900 feet. 274 knots is its current speed. Registration Echo India November Golf X-ray. Waterford down towards the south of Ireland. That one has routed up towards Kilkenny onto Dublin and then across Wales in towards East Midlands. Service in from Kennedy this evening, making its way down to us as well. That one is about 20 minutes out now, currently making its way down through 22,000 feet. Let's get back on that Rhino. 425 knots is its current speed. Registration on the inbound from Kennedy this evening, Golf Delta Hotel Lima Juliet. 767-300, this one entering into service in October 2012, so coming up to 13 years of age this year. Nothing picking up just yet for the service to Berlin this evening. And good to see everybody in the chat as well. Dino, good evening to you. And Roger, good evening to you as well. I've been going through a lot the past few days, so hope everything's okay. Phil as well, good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for the membership there. 1 month of the frequent flyer membership. Thank you very much for that, and your continued support of the channel as well. Pilatus, about 5 minutes out now then, approaching just to the north of us. relatively close approach. That one at 2,850 feet now, making its way down towards the start of runway 27. Just here, over the back of the trees there, we should be seeing that one in the next few minutes then. 767 in from Kennedy. That one is passing through 15,500 feet now. .378 knots is its current speed. That one should be with us in the next 10 or 15 minutes. Anti-collision light pinging away then on the service to Berlin. We should be seeing the Chewy 737 off to Heraklion start up anytime soon as well. So look at the progress of the 777. Scheduled to be making its way back out to Leipzig in the next 20 minutes or so. See a fair bit of cargo at the rear of that stand this evening. We'll see in the next 20 minutes if that one does indeed keep on time. And the 777 in from Cincinnati. On the forward stand there. Nothing off that one just yet, off the upper deck anyway. Some cargo making its way off the lower deck there. I assume it's extremely warm inside that container at the minute. Yeah, offer some good shade, but it's stiflingly hot. Service to Berlin then, pushing off stand. Let's have a look around and catch this one as it starts to make its way down to runway 27. So not too delayed this evening, managing to keep its slot as well, pushing back there just a minute before its estimated time. Happy latest in from Waterford, touching down onto runway 27 then. Flight time for that one, an hour and 8 minutes. This one just a few months old, January 2025. First entering into service. So about 6 months old on this one. It very quietly approaches from the east. Vacating just a little further down, should hopefully make its way up towards us. Pan around, may just be able to catch that one. There we go. So we're just a little further down this evening, taking advantage of the shade. Just slightly obscured by the dip in the taxiway there. There we go, that pilotus shining away. Just see the crew there on the flight deck this evening. passengers on board there as well. Making that short hop across into East Midlands. There it disappears down in towards the maintenance area. Off it goes. So we'll look back on the Rhino then. Now, said it was going to be on time, still waiting to commence its taxi. Looks like everything's set. There we go. Slowly moving forwards then, the Rhino service off to Berlin this evening. This one slightly delayed by about 35 minutes. We're now starting to make its way out onto the taxiway and down to the start of runway 27. Slightly obscured by the fence then, but there it goes. Also making its way out, that chewy service to Heraklion. Cloud just blocking out some of that sunlight now. Taking a bit of the shine off, a bit of the glare off the skin of the aircraft, making it a bit better to see in front of us. Chewy then, registration Golf Tango Uniform Mike November 737 MAX. This one 3 years of age, entering service in April 2022. Making its way in earlier this afternoon from Kefalonia, arriving just after 4:30. Flight time on that one was about 3 hours and 16 minutes. So look at that Rhino then, just intercepting a little earlier. Should be seeing that one commence its takeoff roll in just a few minutes. Stick with the Chewy just for the time being though. Quite a good view we've got of that one this evening. Hopefully the quality is coming over okay this evening. Let's check a few of those metrics to make sure everything is still as it should be. It's extremely quiet where we are now. A little less busy than we were last Thursday. Yeah, looks like everything is on top form for the time being. Hopefully it stays that way, it's faring a little better than we did last week. And an anti-collision light pinging away there. Right there. on its takeoff roll, making its way down towards us. See how early this one rotates. Quite a late rotation there from the Ryanair. Still making its way out safely over runway 27 this evening. 725 feet is its current speed. Entering into that left-hand turn quite early there. 1200 feet is the current altitude. 166 knots is its current speed. And rolling out of that left-hand turn, making its way up through 2,000 feet now. Now you go 2,500 feet, talking to the tower, handing off to London Control and leaving East Midlands airspace. They're on a service off to Berlin this evening. Let's have a look in the distance sent out the Chewy service off to Heraklion. There it is, commencing its taxi, making its way off of the apron onto the taxiway. Safely making its way onto the taxiway then, and commencing its taxi down to the start runway 27, Chewy service off to Heraklion this evening. Now in the next 25 minutes, the 747 should be making its way out as well. There you go, just losing the Chewy to the fence line there. So look at the progress of the 777 then this evening. 777 inbound from Leipzig shouldn't be too far away either. That one is indeed passing down through 11,200 feet now. 310 knots is its current speed. Registration Delta Alpha Alpha Lima Foxtrot. Flight time this evening from Leipzig about 1 hour and 30 minutes. This one is just south of Leicester. Should be with us in 10 minutes time. I think maybe just a little bit longer. The 777 in front of us on stand this evening to complete. A service in from Kennedy then on final, just passing over the M1 now. 200 feet is its current altitude, passing over the runway threshold. Let's face in the direction of 27 again and watch the inbound from Kennedy arrive into East Midlands. Flight time 5 hours and 52 minutes. Registration again. Golf Delta Hotel Lima Juliet. This one 12 years of age. October 2012 this one entered into service. There we go on the reverse thrusters there. This one may vacate early. There we go, shining away in the sunlight this evening. Cloud just clearing ever so slightly there. Making everything that much more intense. Well, it's burning my feet. There we go, we shall stick with this one just for the time being. That Chewy is on the sensor line now for runway 27. As soon as that starts making ground towards us, we shall pan across and catch the departure of that one. Crew there on the flight deck of the 767. Chewy on its takeoff roll. Let's pan around, catch the departure of that one this evening then. Almost managing to keep on schedule, just a few minutes behind its estimated departure time. Safely making its way out of East Midlands and the Chewy service off to Heraklion. 900 feet is its current altitude, 166 knots is its speed. Commencing that left hand turn down towards the south. Nice breeze coming from those engines. Thank you very much. It's a little shallower on the climb out. This one at 2,000 feet at the minute. Have a look at the 767 in from Kennedy. Just a few minutes. We shall wait until this one hands off to London Control. There we go, approaching altitude. Passing out of East Midlands airspace now. Service there off to Heraklion this evening. Let's have a look back on the ground in front of us and service in from Kennedy coming to a stop on its stand. Ground crew there, busy putting the chocks in front and behind of that forward landing gear on the nose wheel of the aircraft. I can imagine it's very warm indeed over on the apron this evening with all the PPE that they've got on. I suppose it's nice to be outside in the warmth for a change, rather than the driving rain or the freezing cold. Moving into place then to open the lower cargo door there. Hopefully any minute now. Now the next 777 making its way over Kegworth now. Now we've got that lower cargo door opening up. Triple seven in from Leipzig. Its counterpart still on stand this evening, being loaded back up as containers making their way back on board now. Let's pan around and catch the arrival of the 777 inbound from Leipzig. Flight time a little shorter than expected, 1 hour and 23 minutes this evening. There you go. Ready view of those engines. Just the reflection in the of the skin of that aircraft, all the aircraft in front of it this evening. This 767 just catching the lights on the just below the flight deck. Stick with this one for the time being then, as it makes its way towards its stand. Let's see whereabouts this one does actually pull onto stand this evening. Sometimes when it gets a little busier, there is a bit of a standoff between the aerologics. It doesn't look likely to be the case this evening. Plenty of space over there on the apron. Dino, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We shall see you on the next one. just holding short on stand this evening. So there's just a few bits to move out of its way. Is holding short. They're making its way up from the south in the Rhino service in from Limoges this evening. 34,925 feet. So its barometric altitude at the minute. 428 knots is its current speed. Registration 9 Hotel Quebec Echo Juliet. 737-800. This one 7 years of age. Entering into service in 2018. Coming to a firm stop over on its stand for the evening. Aviation Cessna in from the Isle of Man at 9,000 feet. That one is about 15 minutes away now. And the UPS 767 in from Philadelphia, that one at 37,000 feet, making its way over Ireland. Currently routing towards Dublin. About 40 minutes until we see that one this evening. That one should be making its way, as I say, up towards Dublin, off the coast of Ireland there, over towards North Wales, or in the vicinity of Anglesey, North Wales, and then over towards Stoke-on-Trent, north of Derby, Nottingham, and then finally in towards East Midlands. 777 there though in the distance. Both Aerologics on stand this evening. This one in from Delhi this afternoon, landing in just as we were starting this evening's stream. Still in the process of being worked on. The estimated departure time was 5 to 7 this evening, has elapsed. Still a little bit of work to undertake on that one this evening. Let's have a look on the 767 in from Kennedy then, right in front of us. This one arriving just a short while ago. So I'm going to look in the lower cargo bay there. It's like the flight crew getting ready to disembark. The upper cargo deck open as well. Of course, that other rear cargo deck. Looks pretty clear now. Shall stick with them just for a few minutes. No movement on the 747 just yet. That one with an estimated departure time of 10 past 7 this evening. That one are relatively good at maintaining their departure times. A lot of activity around the 767 this evening. The 777 off to Leipzig with a revised departure time of 7:30 this evening. So another 30 minutes or so before we see that one depart out of East Midlands. That'll be the first heavy departing out on maybe the second heavy departing out on this evening's stream subject to the one departing on time. Nothing pinging up for that one just yet. Flight crew making their way away from the aircraft this evening. Triple 7 on the next, and then from Cincinnati, majority of that cargo offloaded now. Average delay on the departure this evening, picking up at about 40 minutes. So hopefully not too much of an impact to the rest of this evening's schedule. Especially the 747. Still no movement on that one for the time being. Seeing just how reflective the skin of the aircraft are this evening. Sunlight just gleaming off of this. It's the off the surface there. Cargo deck slowly opening up then. Pick up ever so slightly as well. Still taking some of that heat away. Bit of a bonus as it's extremely warm at the minute. There you go then, the 777 making its way out to Leipzig in the next 25 minutes or so. Hopefully not too much more work to conduct on that one. And that earlier inbound Pilatus from Waterford over in Ireland, making its way back onto runway 27 now. So look in that direction, as it should be quite a rapid departure. Bit of a better close-up view on its departure from East Midlands this evening. Nothing filed as its destination airport just yet. Just a steady climb out, 825 feet is its current altitude. Continuing the departure pattern this evening, turning down towards the south. And Away it goes. 1800 feet is its current altitude there. 137 knots. Off into a very bright evening sky in front of it. So look on the ground there, the inbound from Leipzig. Rear cargo door open now. And the RVL in from the Isle of Man. About 10 minutes out. That one is at 7,900 feet now. Regular visitor on our streams. Registration Golf Romeo Victor Lima Yankee. 218 knots is its current speed. And the UPS 767 just making its way over the coast of Ireland now, just north of Bray. 33,500 feet is its current altitude. 471 knots is its speed. Registration on the email from Philadelphia this evening then. November 356 Uniform Papa. Boeing 767 at 300. So look over on that service in from Kennedy then for the time being. Still nice and warm where we are at the minute at 26 degrees is the temperature. So we'll work on getting the on-screen overlay back up and running as soon as we can. I think that may have been the issue of last week's audio problems. So hopefully it's coming over strong this evening. Not very many aircraft on stand at all with us now. So the main apron over there, front of the terminal building, all clear. That next arrival not too far out though. 20 minutes away, just north of Watford now. Making its way up towards Luton. That one in from Limoges this evening. That one will be outbound again. Barcelona, I believe that one is scheduled to depart to. Estimated departure time on that one 8:05 though this evening, delayed by about 35 minutes due to the delay on the inbound from Limoges. Seven on the next stand then. That one is scheduled to go back out to Cincinnati this evening. Estimated departure time on that one at 10 to 9. Still quite a bit of work to undertake. On that one this evening. Temperature finally starting to drop now. Bit of breeze blowing our way, taking some of that heat away with it. The sun just obscured by that cloud now. The RVL in from the Isle of Man then, making its way down just over Long Eaton. 2,900 feet is its current altitude, 158 knots. Flight time this evening, about 45 minutes. Just a short hop over from the Isle of Man. That UPS 767 making its way towards Anglesey now then. Making its way over towards the south of Anglesey into North Wales. And then it looks like that one will route over to Wrexham and on to Stoke-on-Trent. And then on into East Midlands. Looks like that last lot of cargo making its way onto the 777. Scheduled to make its way back out to Leipzig. Looks like the crew there, eager to get away, making the most of the nice weather while they still can. Making the most of it before departing out this evening. Nothing picking up for the 1 hour 747 just yet. Looks like that one has had its slight pushback as well to 7:30 this evening. So in the next 15 minutes or so, we should hopefully see the 1 hour 747 depart out. So it's still down there, nothing moved just yet. But hopefully departing a similar time as the 777 in front of us. So it does look like from here that is the last of the cargo making its way on board now. And the flight crew watching on as well. Looks like they're eager to get away this evening. But nothing to the left of us for the time being, unfortunately, till that service in from Limoges arrives with us. That one isn't too far out now though, just north of Milton Keynes, passing down through 15,600 feet, 292 knots is its current speed. About 10 minutes out now. Just having a quick look on the radar, nothing interesting flying over just yet. Just a little further away from us, north of Nottingham, the UPS 747 on its way to Louisville from Cologne. for any of the Manchester-bound traffic this evening, though. Hopefully, we'll have a good view of the A380 as it makes its way up. That one is slightly delayed this evening. Should have been overhead by now. Probably on the ground at Manchester, but delayed until about 8:45, I think it was. Let's have a look. Yeah, about 8:45 that one is arriving into Manchester now. So hopefully catching that one just at the end of this evening's stream. Currently making its way past Nuremberg at the minute, with an hour and 25 minutes left to run. Looks like they're almost finished on board of the 777 there. Let's have a look around at the 767 in front of us. Progress of that one this evening. So majority of the cargo making its way off of that aircraft. Another helicopter passing over there as this evening then. Let's try and catch this one if we can. There it goes to there, passing over the top of East Midlands. Out of view. That one, Golf November Echo Whiskey Bravo is its registration. Augusta Westland is the model. Let's get back into view there. 109. 14 years of age on that one, entering into service in 2011. So that one is making its way up from Elstree this evening, just east of Watford. Cargo door firmly closed then. Ancillary equipment being moved out of the way. So looking like we are going to be seeing this one starting to push back anytime soon. Ground crew there making their way off out of the flight deck. And they're running service in from Limoges, passing through 9,500 feet. That one is about 5 minutes or so away from us now, just coming up towards Market Harbour. Registration on the inbound aircraft from Limoges, then 9 Hotel Quebec Echo Juliet. 7 years of age on this one, entering into service in March 2018. By 737-800. Catch up with the 777 in just a minute. That's that cargo coming off of the lower hold then. (767) in from Philadelphia at 22,000 feet now, 442 knots. That one is about 20 minutes away from us. is just south of Chester at the minute. The Rhino service here from Limoges will be the next aircraft inbound, just south of Leicester, 5 minutes out. Hopefully in the next couple of minutes, forward door on the 777 will close up. That one will be on its way. Just the forward stair to remove out of the way there once that door closes. Looks like they're getting ready to commence the pushback on that one. At the 777 then, making its way back out to Cincinnati later on this evening. It must be extremely hot on board those aircraft, especially on evenings like this. First cargo making its way off of the inbound from Leipzig this evening. Beach King pinging up on the radar. We'll have a look at that one in a minute. Nothing for the 747 just yet. That one with an estimated departure time of 7:30 this evening. Changing back to 7:10 now. No movement on that one just yet though. We shall keep an eye on it in the distance. Making its way out though at the Beach King, we shall leave the 777 just for a minute. If we can get there in time. There we go. Beach King making its way back over to Belfast this evening then. Registration on this one, Golf November India Alpha Bravo. 45 years of age, 1980. This one took its first flight. Airport fire truck in the distance there. Out on its apron this evening. Beach King just disappearing behind the dip in the taxiway. 777 then in the distance. Door all closed now. Stairs in the process of being moved out of the way so it can commence its pushback. Right here from Limoges on final approach. Just a couple of minutes from touching down this evening. Thank you very much for being with us again from East Midlands, from within the Aeropark this evening. It's good to have you with us. Thank you very much for watching and joining in on the chat as well. Even a wasp landing on my hand is enjoying it a bit too much. Go on, get away. Thank you for being with us this evening. Welcome to all our new subscribers as well. Of course, all of our members. Good to have you with us, and our returner subscribers as well. Good to see you again this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. If you've not already done so, do consider subscribing to the channel. We're here every week from East Midlands, usually twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday evenings. Streaming directly from the grounds of the Aeropark Museum. So if you've not already done so, do consider subscribing. Massively helps the channel out. It's free. We've passed 3,000 subscribers at the end of last month, aiming for a next goal of 5,000. So if you could help us towards that, that would be greatly appreciated. But thank you nevertheless for joining and watching this evening. Right in from Limoges and landing in onto a runway 27 now. We'll catch up with a 777 in just a few minutes, but for the time being, let's face in the direction of runway 27 and away at that next arrival. Beach King off to Belfast, just holding short of runway 27. There it is, just about to come into view. Flight time this evening, 1 hour and 20 minutes. This aircraft will be making its way out to Barcelona as well. Estimated departure time on that one is about 8:05. The Limoges service in front of us delayed this evening. A lot of people on that flight this evening. But safely on the ground at East Midlands now, off the runway onto the taxiway, making their way down towards the apron. So we should hopefully see the departure of the Aerologic 777. It's like all the ancillary equipment is moved away from the aircraft now. Anti-collision light pinging away. Stick with the Ryanair just for a couple of minutes. Stay in this direction and catch the departure of that Beach King departing out to Belfast. Something started up in the distance there. The Beach King making its way out now though. We shall stay in this direction and catch the departure of that one. The 747 in the distance there. No movement on that one just yet. Nothing pinging up on the radar either. Perhaps a little higher. There we go. Right above us. Above the umbrella, unfortunately. There we go. Off out to Belfast this evening. Let's see if we can pick up with that one. There we go. Going back into view. Nice and early departure for that one. Initiating that right hand turn. Making its way north of the airfield. Routing back over to Belfast this evening. There it goes. Off into the sunset. Back on the ground though. 777 making its way out to Leipzig, finally starting up. There we go, if you can pick the right one. Very noisy in the distance. It's like the engine's already starting up on stand. Keep an eye on it for the next couple of minutes though, as that one starts its pushback. There we go, pinging up on the radar now. Delta Alpha Alpha Lima Victor. November 2023 this one entered into service. Making its way into East Midlands from Delhi just at the start of the stream. Delayed on the inbound from Delhi. But back off to Leipzig this evening. The 10747, nothing pinging for that one just yet. Firmly on its stand in the distance. So that one is delayed a little further this evening. Another 20 minutes or so before that one departs now. It's the aerologic in front of us. 7:45 is its estimated departure time. That one is making its way out now. Ground crew there just sorting those last few bits. A bit of trouble with that ground power unit there. Now that's safely out of the way. It should be pushing back in a minute now. So about another hour or so left of this evening's stream. Thank you very much for joining us again. Next week we should be back on a normal schedule, Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and of course Sunday for the special event, including the Red Hours fly past. We'll get all those streams loaded up. Get them published in the next day or so as well. Good to see everybody in the chat as well. Yeah, Chris, it does sound like the 777 there starting on stand this evening. noise though, not usually something we hear. It's usually drowned out by the wind. I think just how calm it is this evening, managing to pick up a few more of those obscure noises that we don't usually hear. I'm glad you can hear it anyway. UPS 767 in from Philadelphia, just passing over the M1 then. 300 feet is its current altitude, 132 knots. Registration on that one. For one last time, November 356 uniform Papa. Flight time this evening, 6 hours and 6 minutes. There we go with 777. Maybe one engine started then. Yeah, just one engine started on stand there. Pan around quickly and catch this 767 and hopefully catch the next engine. UPS 767 there in from Philadelphia. And it will make a left-hand turn and make its way back down towards the start of runway 27 onto its stand for the evening. There we go, safely vacating off there. Let's get back onto the Airlogic 777 though. So with both engines starting up now, that one should be out on its way in the next few minutes. That's not the engine there. Motorbike making its way around the roundabout just outside of the Aeropark. That's the light just peering through the cloud and shining up into his skin. And that 777 there. There we go. Those final checks. Now hopefully this one makes its way out with a fair bit of noise. Not too sure how fully laden this one is. So they rotate quite early. I may be lucky. Catch it on a later rotation point. It's just a shame we're not on 09 operation this evening. That made quite a sight. So hopefully in the next 10 minutes we should see the 747 making its way out of East Midlands. That slot has been pushed back a couple of times now, from 7:10 to 7:30 and now 7:55. Nothing pinging up just yet. We will stick with Aerologic 777. As this one makes its way down to the start of runway 27. Hopefully the image quality is coming across just as good as it looks in person here this evening. So just a short hop back over to Leipzig. About an hour and 30 minutes, total flight time. There he goes, past the main passenger apron. Hopefully having a word with that 747 down there to get a move on. They're on a service off to Barcelona just in the distance. We'll leave the 777 for the time being. Let's have a look there. Looks like that aircraft is in the process of boarding now. Refueling truck still in place. Everybody eager to get on this evening. Just a short delay on that service. But should be making its way out at about 8:05 this evening. So in the next 15 minutes or so, that one should be making its way down. Again, everybody off to Barcelona this evening. 777 continuing its taxi. So look for any overheads. The Qatari 787 making its way into Manchester. That one just obscured by the cloud, unfortunately. But we did see that one on last week's stream. Weather conditions are very similar to what they are this evening. Nothing much in the vicinity, unfortunately. Few EasyJet services making their way up from Gatwick. But for the time being, just the Ryanair and the 777 making its way onto a runway 27 now, intercepting just a little earlier. Lining up on the centre line. Assuming this is going to be rotating quite early. We shall see in the next couple of minutes. Here it comes. Fingers crossed it makes a nice shallow departure. Off it goes. That was silently rotating there. Commencing that left-hand turn then down towards the south. (1,700 feet is its current altitude, 160 knots. Not a bad view at all this evening. Making his way up towards 3,000 feet now then. Vertical speed about 3,500 feet per minute. Leaving East Midlands airspace. Goes off into the distance. So look at that Ryanair service off to Barcelona then. Looks like everybody is now on board. Hopefully that one will stay on time, 10 minutes or so before that one is scheduled to depart. Looks like another new slot for the 747. 20 past 8 now, that is expected to depart. Delayed by just over an hour then this evening. have a look at these services making their way in towards us then. Maersk 767 in from Belfast, about 30 minutes out. Registration on that one, Golf Mike Alpha Charlie Yankee. Regular on our streams, 36 years of age, 1989, that one first entered into service. About 40 minutes away, 757 making its way down from Reykjavik this evening. Golf Bravo Mike Romeo Delta is a registration, 35,000 feet is the current altitude, and 474 knots is its speed. That one just north of Glasgow now. Making its way over Loch Lomond. And in from Aberdeen, the West Atlantic 737-400, registration Golf Juliet Mike Charlie Hotel. 23,000 feet is the current altitude of that aircraft, 435 knots is the speed. That one is about 30 minutes out as well, so not too long to wait before all three of those next arrivals make their way in towards us here at East Midlands. In terms of departures, the 747 pushed back until about 20 past 8 now, so about 25 minutes to wait for that one. And the Ryanair service to Barcelona, that one estimated to depart at about 10 past 8. That is the aircraft in front of us. That rear stair being moved out of the way now then. Hopefully signalling that aircraft is ready to make a move. So its departure time is in the next 15 minutes, so it may well push off stand to the rear of the apron or remain in place for the next few minutes and start up there. What we shall see. DHL apron looking not that busy for the time being. 777 there, off to Cincinnati a little later on. And the Airlogic in from Leipzig, continuing to offload the cargo, making its way across into East Midlands this evening. Of course, looking down into the aeropark. Whereabouts are they? There you go. Having a chill in the sun. Making the most of it, I think. Back onto planes. Anyway, the 777 then in front of us. So look, see if that one is making its way out at some point this evening, if not tomorrow morning. Yeah, looks like the early hours of tomorrow morning this one is making its way back over to Leipzig at 25 past 1 tomorrow morning. So stopping overnight. A bit of a lull in traffic just for the time being until those next arrivals get a little bit closer to us. The crew making their way on board of the 777 there then. Hopefully the 747 sticks to its new estimated departure time. So that has been pushed back 3 times now. A lot of delays out of East Midlands this evening though. About an hour's delay on the service in from Leipzig. a few others as well departing this evening. So, not as densely packed as the last Thursday stream, but still a lot of good aircraft in front of us this evening, and the weather is with us as well, so thank you very much for being with us. Definitely cooled down a little bit now. I think the temperatures are going to get back up in towards the 30s tomorrow. So look, yeah, local temperatures from about 2:30 onwards, getting up to 30 degrees. So another hot day into Saturday, and get a little bit cooler into Sunday and Monday as well. And then it looks like a little bit of rain forecast over the weekend, late evening into the early hours, but apart from that, down to about 22 next weekend. So still warm, hopefully not too warm, nice and pleasant as it is now. So we'll be here for the next 40 minutes or so. So we'll stick around for the arrivals making their way in from the north and the west. 757 in from Reykjavik, 737 from Aberdeen, and the 767 in from Belfast. Services from Belfast and Aberdeen about 20 minutes out now. And the service from Reykjavik making its way down towards Dumfries, about 13 minutes out. Service to Barcelona pinging up on the radar now then, and it looks like that one is just starting to push back. So hopefully keeping on or to its revised departure slot this evening. Learjet just on the rear of the apron there. So the service to Barcelona will be the next one out from East Midlands this evening. Registration on the Abound 9 Hotel, Quebec Echo Juliet. This one arriving here from Limoges just a short while ago. Making its way off out to Barcelona this evening. look at the arrivals a little further out then. 757 making its way in from Oslo. That one will be here in about an hour and 20 minutes, arriving about 9:25 this evening, so just a little after where we'll be in terms of streaming, but that will be joining its counterpart, making its way down from Reykjavik on stand. Malta Air in from Alicante. 737 MAX making its way up towards us. That one should be at just before 9 PM. So depending on where we are in terms of the remaining departures on this evening's stream, we may or may not see the Malta Air from Alicante. The one at 747 pinging up then. Golf Oscar November Echo Foxtrot is the registration of that one this evening. 21 years of age, March 2004. This one entered into service. Making its way in from Astana this morning. And departing back out to Hangzhou this evening. So that one is indeed just starting to push back off stand, and that Ryanair 737 making its way off of the apron, so we shall track this one down to the start of 27, hopefully catch a glimpse of the 747 as that one starts to push back off its stand this evening. We'll stick with this one just through the fence line there. APS 767 just in the distance. Now depending on how far this one has pushed back, may or may not see it. Just out of view unfortunately. Just about see the collision light pinging away there, and that APU just behind the fence. So it's on its way out. Hopefully with the sun setting as well, that should be quite a scenic departure this evening. Still working on board the 767, and looks like there's a bit more cargo to make its way off this evening. And the 777 there off to Cincinnati. One then hopefully making its way out in the next few minutes. Ryanair off to Barcelona will be the next departure. I think with the majority of that sunlight hiding away behind the trees now. Get this umbrella taken down, get a nice shot of the 747 making its way out. Hopefully that was a good idea anyway. Next out then, that service to Barcelona, lining up on the centre line now. Let's pan around and catch the departure of that one out of East Midlands this evening. Go safely away, 800 feet, making its way through 1,000 feet now, initiating that left hand turn down towards the south. A lot of wasps out this evening. So to stay quite still. They seem to be liking landing on me. I'm concentrating on panning. There he goes, passing through 3,000 feet now. They're on a service off to Barcelona this evening. That one there, 747, still on stand, not moving just yet. Airlogic 777, all closed up now. That one is staying until the early hours of tomorrow morning, so no more movement expected on that one, unfortunately. But the next departure out of East Midlands is expected to be the 747. 777 on the end stand there, registration. And then Mike Delta off to Cincinnati, hopefully at some point. Estimated departure time this evening is 10 to 9. We'll see where we are in the next 30 minutes or so in terms of that one making it out. As you can see, there's a fair old bit to still make its way on board this evening. So that service may unfortunately be delayed as well, but we'll keep an eye out. So looks like it's on its way out to the taxiway then, the 747. And that Maersk 767 in from Belfast at 13,000 feet now, making its way down through 13,000 feet, sorry, at 352 knots. That one about 10 minutes out. And from the north, the West Atlantic 737, also about 10 minutes out, making its way down through 18,000 feet. So let's see which one we get out first. Hopefully the 747. 767, just a little more ground to make up before it starts its turn on to final approach this evening. So a little behind schedule by about an hour or so this evening. The 747 quickly making its way down to the holding point for runway 27. Hopefully this one should make its way out before the approaching 767 in from Belfast. That one is just west of Ashbourne at the minute. So should be plenty of time for this one to make its way onto the runway and make it another 10 minutes or so before we see the 767 in with us. Making its way down through 10,400 feet. Try and catch the A380 as it makes its way into Manchester as well this evening. That one shouldn't be too far away at all, probably 20 to 25 minutes away. The 747 next departure from East Midlands and lining up on the centre line now. Shall wait till that one starts rolling and then pan around in that direction. It's been a while since we've seen 1F on the streams. Just awaiting takeoff clearance then. And then it will be starting its takeoff roll towards us. Hopefully, anyway. Right, well that one is just holding then, 767, just north of Derby now, 7,800 feet. Quickly making up some ground. That one is about 5 minutes or so away from us now. One 747 is still holding. Seven, 6, 7 all completed there. There we go then. 747 starting its takeoff roll towards us now. Here we go then. lifting away very graciously there. The 747 passing through 1,000 feet now, just catching the sun as it starts to set. Catching a couple of aircraft there passing by in the distance. Safely off to Zhengzhou this evening. 747. A good flight time ahead of it. (2,900 feet on this one now. 170 knots is its speed. We shall stick with this just for a couple of minutes until that 767 gets a little closer to us. There you go, a very gentle climb out this evening. 3,900 feet it's at now. We'll see how far this initiates that left-hand turn. Should make its way all the way around back just over the south of the airfield there. There it goes. So I've not seen that airframe for quite some time. Good to see it back out this evening, especially catching it. Last of that sunlight. Just over 13 hours flight time ahead of it this evening. Eight and a half thousand feet is its altitude now. 295 knots. You still see the livery on that really well. There you go, 9,500 feet now. Still quite some distance away now. 11,000 feet. On the second most aircraft tracked at the minute. 1,800 people watching this one depart out of East Midlands this evening. Still in sight, just about to cross paths with the A380 there somewhere. Not sure where the 380 is. It's making its way towards us anyway. Right above. There it is then, the Emirates A380 making its way into Manchester this evening. So from the Queen of the Skies to the King of the Skies. This one just passing west of the 747. That would have been a fantastic shot to get both of them on the stream at once. There it goes anyway. Seven at 16,000 feet now then, disappearing well out of our view. The A380 right above us. This one at 18,000 feet. And the 767 is just making its way in behind us. Stick with the A380 just for a minute and watch this one past as it makes its way into the sunset this evening. There we go, initiating just a slight turn there. Making its way off into the sunset towards Manchester this evening. A380 in from Dubai. There we go. Just about to blinded by the sun, unfortunately. But let's have a look on the ground. That's 767 making its way in from Belfast then. A little bit further up. There we go, a bit too ambitious there. Maersk 767 in from Belfast. Flight time 43 minutes this evening. And the next inbound, the West Atlantic 737. Stay in this direction just for the time being then. Watch that 737 down, just passing overhead the M1, and the 757 on final as well. That one over East Leak at the minute, passing down through 2,200 feet. There we go, touching down onto runway 27. That one should be with us in just a few seconds. There it comes. Flight time in from Aberdeen then, 51 minutes at the point of touching down. Registration on this one, Golf Juliet and Mike Charlie Hotel. 33 years of age, entering service in 1992. Starting that left-hand turn onto the apron then. Right next to the RVL, that one's sneaking in. Did it manage to catch that one? I don't think. See that one in just a couple of minutes though, as the West Atlantic makes its way over the apron towards the very end stand there. Let's have a look at the 757 then, that one just touching down. Shall leave the 737 just for a minute then. Make our way back round to the start of runway 27. There it is. Nice Charlotte there right in front of us this evening for the 757. Vacating now, making its way on to the taxiway. Let's see which way this turns. Right hand turn this evening. Let's stick with this one just for the time being. Catching the last of the sun there on that aircraft. Really gleaming with the golden sunlight there, bouncing off the skin. Looking at those next arrivals as well. Bit of a lull in traffic for the next 30 minutes or so. So I think we will make the 757 in front of us the final aircraft on this evening's stream. Watch that one onto the stand. So it makes its way there anyway, just holding short for the time being. maybe not quite ready for them just yet. So look down the rest of the fuselage then on the 757. Still gleaming away. This one, 37 years of age, 1988, first entering into service. And as you can see, a passenger to freighter conversion. See the plugs in the windows there. So look on the stand, see if you can see if there are any obstructions over there. Nothing really. Just waiting for ground crew to become available. I think if that one's going to be holding for a while, then we will call it there for this evening's stream. So thank you very much for being with us this evening from East Midlands. There it goes. From within the grounds of the aeropark as well. If you want any details about the aeropark, have a look at the stream description below. There is a link to the website in there. Well, thank you very much for joining us this evening, to all our new subscribers, returning subscribers and members as well. It's been great to have you with us. Thank you to everybody joining in the chat as well, everybody watching along. We'll be out again next week. Should be returning to our usual Tuesday and Thursday evening streams, and of course the celebration weekend here at the airport will be out and streaming all the live events here. Flies. So streaming from here within the grounds of the airport. So if you're around, come down and have a look at all the events going on. So have a look at some of the advice from the airport as well that's been published over the past week or so regards to how to access the aeropark and just about where to park. The main car park, I believe, will be designated for blue badge holders only. Car park dedicated for the weekend will be at the end of Deesworth Road, just before the crash gate at the very end of the road. As I say, have a look at that official information as to the airport's guidance on that. That's the best place to get the information from. Well, there it is, safely on stand. So thank you again for watching along with us. This has been Lifelike Action. I've been Tom. Thank you very much for joining us on a very warm Thursday evening. And we'll see you all on the next one. So, thank you for joining us. Have a great weekend.